Okay, legends, welcome back to the channel with another Overlord, Lord of Nazarick video. Now in this video, we'll be talking about a special tank, which is one of the best tanks in the game. Probably, arguably, technical usage. It might be not the best tank for tanking on its own, but it will be absolutely fantastic to protect your entire lineup and play it with another tank if you want, or another kind of support. He's still tanky and one of the best tanks, but in the future, we're gonna see tanks that literally takes absolutely zero damage on some stages. Now we're not gonna be talk too much about what's gonna come in the future. We're gonna go and showcase him or give a sneak peek about him, and it's none other than Demiurge, Jaldabaoth, his tank form. Before we start, I just want to say that we had a new banner, which is the double banner with Evil Eye and Kokaitis, and I highly recommend for you to save all of your rings. If you already have copies of them, you don't need to upgrade them or do anything with them. They will be forgotten in the future. Now, if you started new on your account and you want to play right now and test anything and go with lineups, yeah, if you can get any copy of any of these. I would highly recommend Evil Eye because of the one-shot team potential, but I would highly say just save your summons. I do my summons just for streams, for funs, just because it's for giving content, and that's all. If I want to think about it, I will save all my summons for the upcoming characters. Now, we can see Jaldabaoth in the Realm of Shadow. We're gonna go and talk about him, and I think it's in Peroncino on stage 21. I faced him, so we're gonna go and check him out. So we're gonna go and see. We have also Lakis here, but we're not gonna talk about her right now. I'm gonna talk about her in a different video. It needs a lot of explanation of how to use her. She's a little bit of a technical usage as well. Jaldabaoth is here. We're gonna go inside to show you his speed. Now, he's not a speedy character. He's decent speed. He's normal speed. He's not the worst. He's not the best. But in the game, you're gonna build him a little bit on speed. Maybe utilize him because you want to start with him. Now, if you're gonna go and check him out, we're gonna go and check his speed. He's, yes, slower than Negredo. It means he is at 166, and you can see that Idol Shaltir is faster than him on here. It means he's not the speediest character, yet he's not that slow, okay? You're gonna keep in mind that he will be a little bit fast, decent. He has B ranking on speed, I think, if I'm not mistaken. He's a Garnet faction character. Again, works with Touch Me so well, and works with other leaders. People are using him with Lord of Time Ainz, and he works with any leader. Actually, he's a technical usage tank. I'm gonna repeat this, and I want you to keep it in mind. Technical usage for his technicality, more than that his survivability, and you can make him survive. One of his best partners is Masked Shaltir or Honyon Pinyoko. They work actually good together. They have good skills. I think he has a leader skill, but we can't see it here because it's just only showcasing a sneak peek of him. This character is absolutely fantastic. He scales off of his HP and plays around bleed. So we're gonna go and talk about his skills. First of all, we're gonna start with his normal skill, which is an AoE. His basic attack is an AoE skill. We'll talk about it. Aspect of the Devil, Razor Sharp Claws. So Jaldabaoth swings his claws to the primary target and the enemies to the left and right, okay? So he deals damage, not magical, but physical, equal to 30% of his attack and 5% of his maximum HP to the primary target. 5% of his maximum HP, it means you need to build him on maximum HP or on HP substats and set. So the most thing that I would say, play around him with Red Dragon if you want to reduce the cooldown if you take damage, and it's the perfect set for him because you're gonna be assisting with him or supporting with him, and he will take all the hits, so he has a high chance to reduce the cooldown of his skills. Now you can play him on Alchemy set as well to buff the attack or buff the defense for your allies on the lineup, or you can play him if you want on champion set. It also gives you a maximum HP and it will make him a little bit more tanky. Now, another thing that people told me that they're playing him with is a set that has high EP, which you can do that. I think it's called the Crimson set. I forgot what's the name of the set. There's a set that, yeah, it's not the Crimson set, it's another set. But you can play it, it's high EP, but you want him on HP. So this is why I play him on a primary HP set that has reduction, substats, defense, magical defense, or HP substats, which is good. And you can put EP is one of the major things that you want on him. EP as a substat, which would work on him. Now, gains 100% basic chance to inflict 2 stacks of bleed that lasts for 2 rounds on the primary target. On the primary target, not the left and the right. Deals damage equal to 15% of attack plus 2% of HP to the primary target and the enemies around it, so left and right as well. So he deals good amount of damages to the primary target, but he inflicts the bleed on the primary target with his first skill only, but he deals an AoE damage to the rest of them. Now, If you're playing somebody with a leader skill such as Kokaitis, that every hit that you hit an enemy, you might inflict a bleed. Yes, the left and right might have a 75% chance because of normal Kokaitis leader skill, which is inflict bleed every time you go and attack. So he can be played with a full lineup with bleed, especially warrior Lupus Regina. We're gonna talk about her in a different video as well. She also is a bleed character, which increases the bleed to 15 stacks, not 10 more stacks, so she can go beyond the 10 stacks of bleed. But he can't go beyond anything beyond 10 stacks bleed. He does not benefit from it. We're gonna be talking about it. Now his passive, one of the best passives in the game, absolutely. He saves your entire lineup, and you cannot one-shot nobody can one-shot your lineup if you have him on the lineup. Even if Victim and Zeshi comes into the game, they cannot one-shot when he's on the tanking aspect of the team. If he has Blood Congeal, which he will give everybody because it's an advantage, we're gonna be talking about it. So Jaldabaoth draws life energy from blood. Jaldabaoth max HP increases by 15%. This is his passive, and when you upgrade it more and more, it goes up to 25% or 30% if I'm not mistaken. And also you're gonna get boost in HP with his Arclight and with the set that you're playing. So absolutely he become a monster of a tank. So grants Blood Congeal to all allies excluding himself at the beginning of his turn. That's great. So every time you get his turn, he gets Blood Congeal on everybody. So which is great. Actually, this is super toxic. It's one of the most toxic skills in the entire game. And he has advantage. It grants Blood Congeal to all allies from the start of the battle, even if you didn't have a turn meter, excluding himself. So you need to target him. If you're having a one-shot character in the future that can potentially kill one unit immediately, you can kill him, but you can't kill anybody else on the lineup. Why? What is Blood Congeal, Pika? Okay, a buff that can stack up to 2 times. You can have it 2 times and cannot be dispelled at all. Increases damage reduction by 15% also, so it can go up to 30% when taking damage. If a single instant of damage exceeds 50% of the carrier HP, whoever are on the lineup consume 1 stack of this, which is the Blood Congeal, to become immune to excess damage. It means if you hit them with 1 billion damage, which will hit you by 5,000,000% of your HP, it does not matter. You only take 50% as damage of your HP. The excess, we will never ever take it. Even at level 1, if you have this skill as procced on him, okay, and you go with the character as level 1, and you try to one-shot that character at level 1, you cannot possibly one-shot this character. There's this condition with Blood Congeal. You can hit them 1 hit, and they will not be dead with a single action, because they're gonna lose 50% of their HP and they will stay on 50%, which is huge. This is how good he is. This is why he's one of the top tier units. This is why if you're facing Zeshi on the lineup, they always play him, because without him, Zeshi will absolutely wreck your lineup if she starts before you. This is for the future. I'm just giving you a heads up. This is why this character is a must-have, and this is why his skill. This is the only skill that makes him absolutely perfect. All the other skills are normal, are okay, are good. You can say they are ranking from B to A as a tier list. On the tier list, Blood Congeal, of the skills, it's one of the tier 0 skills in the entire game, so keep that in mind. So as we said, is an advantage. He gives Blood Congeal to everybody except himself, so he's the only one that can be one-shot unless you're playing another unit on the lineup that will go and tank for him. I saw some crazy things on China. Somebody was playing the 8th tank. So they start the battle, they know they will start second, they have Zeshi on their lineup, the enemy. They go for Jaldabaoth to one-shot him, and 8 go and tank for him. So Zeshi couldn't kill Jaldabaoth, and the tank, which is 8, lost 50% of his HP and continue surviving. Now, this is not that I'm saying it. You can play 8. You can play him if you want, but it's not the lineup. It was just a little bit of trolling and a sneak peek about it, because somebody was showing me something really, really cute. Okay, when an ally with Blood Congeal is consumed, or when an ally Blood Congeal is consumed after taking excessive damage, the ally gains life steal as well, so you can heal back up from your 50%. And this life steal is not low. It's 35% of the damage that you will deal next. So if you're gonna hit anybody, you're gonna hit by 100% of your damage. 35% of that damage dealt to the enemy will be transferred for you as a life steal, so you can heal a lot if you have a lot of damage output from your character. Now, we're gonna be talking about his second skill. His second skill is also great because it allows you to taunt. So Jaldabaoth delivers a brutal attack to one enemy, to a single target. Gains basic chance of 40% plus 8% the number of stacks. So 40% plus 8% times the stacks number of bleed to taunt that target for 1 round. Now, how is this good? This is good because 8% and you can go to maximum of 10 stacks, okay? Now, with Lupus Regina, when you have her on your lineup, or Lupus Regina, this is how we pronounce it, the warrior one with bleed, she can allow you to get the stacks to 15. And this skill does go for 15 stacks, so 8% plus the number of stacks. So if you have every single unit on the lineup, let's say we don't have Lupus, okay? We're playing full lineup. Everybody on your enemy has 10 stacks. Or this target on your lineup has 10 stacks. So 10 by 8, that's 80%, plus the 40%, the 120% to a basic chance. So it inflicts by EP and ER to hit that enemy with taunt. If you have also 100% of EP, that's an extra 100%, so 220%. I'm talking crazy numbers, but you can actually go to that number and hit your enemy. So he will always taunt on the target. So on long term, with 10 stacks on everybody, he will always be taunting these enemies unless you have magical ER rate on your lineup or their lineup. So if the target is successfully taunted, Jaldabaoth turn meter boost by 40%, which is huge. It allows him to go actually before your enemies, all of them, or before your all allies, to go and attack again or do his skills, which is absolutely huge. Now we're gonna talk about his ultimate. His ultimate is not confusing. It has 2 forms. His ultimate gives him the aspect of it's called the aspect of the devil, but it gives him tentacle wings. When he unlocks tentacle wings, he deals damage with no cooldown, so you can use his ultimate every single turn. I don't know if they're gonna change this, but this is absolutely huge as well. So Jaldabaoth launches aspect of the devil, tentacle wings, striking all enemies. This is the first time. Launches a 3-hit attack, dealing damage equal to 11% of attack plus 1.6 of his HP, which is huge. Now we're gonna jump to the last skill and talk about it. This is how you attack actually, and it goes for 3 rounds when you get the tentacle wings. Now, when he's in the tentacle wings form, and this is the next turn, because when he applies tentacle wings, it goes for 2 rounds. We're gonna talk about it. When he's in tentacle wings and you have him again to go and hit, launches a 3-hit attack, each hit dealing normal damage equal to 11% of attack plus 1.6% of HP. Each hit has 55% chance to inflict a bleed on the target that lasts for 2 rounds, and it has no cooldown. So it has no cooldown. This is the only thing that you need to keep in mind. In Tentacle Wings, he will have no cooldown on this skill, which is huge. But when he gets back to his form, he will not extend anything, Tentacle Wings, of course, when he's here. But when you go back to your form, you're going to launch the normal attack, and it will not do any bleeds as well. But with the passive, which unlock it, if you unlock it, and I think this is 4 stars, each hit has 55% basic chance to inflict a bleed that lasts for 2 rounds on the target. There's a 55% basic chance. It means you can build him on EP, or your enemies, if they have ER, they can't hit. Each hit, he hits for 3 times, so it's a 160% or 65%. So it goes actually more. So every hit has a 55%, not the entire attack, okay? So using these skills recovers HP equal to 6% plus 2% of the number of stacks of bleed on all target, does not exceed 10 stacks. So even with Lupus. So if all targets has 10%, 10 stacks, it does not mean 2% times 40%. No, it's the maximum is 10, so 2% times 10%, which is 20%, and the 6%, 26% to recover HP or heal himself when he hits the allies, which is nice. Jaldabaoth assumes his winged form for 2 rounds. This is what we're talking about. Now, I don't know about his Arclight, if he's gonna change it, or when you get him to 6-star, or you're gonna increase his, or level up his skills, it goes more than 2 rounds, because if it goes for more 2 rounds, it makes him more consistent and he becomes broken actually. In his form, he is immune to control and guard all allies. So it's impossible, and we did try it yesterday on stream, it's impossible to freeze him or stun him or taunt him or silence him or whatever on him, okay? He still takes debuffs, he takes every type of debuff except control effects. You cannot stop this guy, okay? He will be a tanky, and he will save all your allies. Just like Yuri with her second skill, she go and stand in front of everybody and soaks all the damage and take the damage for herself. He does that when he's in his winged form. always, which is absolutely huge. This was what make him a perfect protection tank. And this is the technicality usage of him. Congeal, and then he guards your allies. Plus, he will go and be flying with his wings and have no cooldown, which is a technical usage. He does not deal a lot of damage, but the stacking up of his bleed is absolutely fantastic. His bleed is absolutely great, but it scales off of his attack. You might think you need to build him on attack. I wouldn't highly recommend that. Okay, keep him on HP. That's what you want. You want him to be saved as much as possible. In his winged form, Jaldabaoth has 50% fixed chance of countering attacks after guarding an ally, so he can counter as well. So you might attack him, he counter when he is guarding, not when you go and hit him. So if you know that he's on winged attack, if you hit anybody else, you're gonna hit Jaldabaoth, right? So the best thing to do is go and hit Jaldabaoth, because if you're gonna go and hit him with his winged form, specifically targeting him, he will not counter back. But if you hit somebody and he goes and assist or support them, and you hit them, there's a chance for him to counter. And when he counter, he might inflict a bleed. If you're having bleed units that inflict bleed whenever you counter, which you don't want to do that. Why take the extra damage? Just go and hit him. So be careful when you play against him. You need to know his skills so you understand how to play around Jaldabaoth. He's one of the most troublesome tank to play against, to be honest. And it's a fixed chance. We still don't know by Arclight or leveling up skills or stars if he's gonna go more than 50%, but I guarantee he goes more than 50%, which will be nice for him actually. In his winged form, this skill transforms into tentacle wings, which we talked about, and the tentacle wings, we talked about what it does. It has no cooldown, which is absolutely beautiful. One of the must-have units in my opinion. If you just want to summon, and he's summonable by rings, what I know about. So you want at least one copy of him, so it will make your lineup sustain and more healthy, and you can go and actually fight. It will help you a lot in PvE. In PvE, you don't understand how much this unit is helpful. Your entire lineup will not be one-shotted at all. Every time you're gonna get congeal, so if you have a healer, you can heal all your lineup again. They take 50% damage, it doesn't exceed the 50%, and you're gonna go back and back and back. He boosts his turn meter, it means he will get more turns, it means he will put more congeal on your lineup, it can stack up to 20%, they also take 15% damage reduction from everything, and it can stack up to 2 times, it means 30%. Absolutely mind-blowing how his mechanic is absolutely perfect. He's one of the best tanks in the game. Yes, I know there's the better tanks as for tanking as on their own, which is Hamske and CZ, but he comes into a team player. He's a team player, he survives the entire lineup. I would say highly safe for him. Yes, he's a must-have. I told you the best support is Shaltir, Mask Shaltir, Honyon Pinyoko, Jaldabaoth as well is one of the best tanks. 2 of the must-have units on your lineup. I think he will crash the game. I think he will make everybody angry when he plays, especially for people who built the one-shot team for Magical, which is I'm one of them. I built Idol, Shaltir, and Mari, and my Albedo. I didn't have Evil Eye, but still that lineup would not be working at all against these lineups. And yeah, that's it for him. Let me know if you like this kind of play. Let me know if you're gonna summon for him when he comes. Please save for him. Please save for these absolutely wonderful characters. You will see that they have high potential, better than the basic characters that we get in the game. Let me know in the comment if you are hyped for him. And yeah, that was it for the video. I'll be seeing you on the next one.